Problem 10. The lengths of two sides of a triangle are 5 and 7. If the length of the third side is an integer, what is the least possible perimeter of the triangle? Now first, when you read this type of question, you're thinking, oh my goodness, it's asking all this stuff, I'm so confused. Well, let's start with the first piece. The lengths of two sides of a triangle are 5 and 7. So one leg's 5 and one is 7. Now if you remember from geometry, what that means is they could be spread out way like this, and you have to figure out the third side would almost be what 5 plus 7 is. Or they could be a real short angle right here. And what happens is they're almost on top of one another. And so the one's going 5, the other's going 7. They're only different by about 2. So we know, we've learned in geometry that if I have two sides, to find the third side has to be somewhere between the difference of them and basically add them together. So if I subtract them, the smallest is going to be a little bit more than 2. And then if I add them together, 12. The measurement is somewhere between 2 and 12. 2 would be as if you got a 5 and 7, and here would be close to 12 if it's 5 and 7. Can't quite get to these measurements, but it can get pretty close to them. Now using that, it says if the length of the third side is an integer means it doesn't have any fractional part. Now it can't be 2. It wants to know what's the least possible perimeter. So we don't want a large side, we want a side that's very small. What that would mean is you'd have this side 7, this guy 5. See how the angle's real small? And this guy, this third side, maybe be like 3, since we need it to be an integer. So we would have this third side be 3. Well, the perimeter of this, 7 plus 3 plus 5 is 15. Boom, there's our answer. D. 15 would be the least possible perimeter of the triangle. If they'd asked you for the largest, well, you can't get to 12, but you would have 11 there. So then you'd do 5, 7, and 11, which would give you 23 then. But doesn't ask that. What's the least? So we're going with 15 as our answer.